Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital spoilers. Dante saves Gio's life. Dad rescues son from Sidwell danger. General Hospital, GH. Spoilers reveal that ever since the news about Gio Palmieri's, Giovanni Mazza, parentage blew up, he's been pushing most of his family members away. That includes Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, who was thrown for a loop when he found out Gio was his son with Brooklyn Quartermain, Amanda Seton. Now Dante would like a chance to build a bond with Gio, but he's facing some challenges. Since Dante blamed Gio after Rocco Falconeri's Finn car alcohol poisoning drama, Gio feels like he knows what Dante really thinks of him. As far as Gio's concerned, the father-son revelation shouldn't change anything. It's clear that this storyline needs a big turning point, one that shows Gio what a good heart Dante has, and how much he truly cares. What better way to achieve that than by having Dante save Gio's life? Dante just might get that opportunity now that Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, feud with Jens Sidwell, Carlo Roda, is escalating. His weekly preview shows Sidwell looking at photos of Sonny's loved ones, including Gio. Sonny can also be heard in the promo predicting that violence is coming to Port Charles and hoping to stop it, but it may be too late. Gio could ultimately land in harm's way if Sidwell moves forward with some troubling plans. Whether Gio gets kidnapped or lands in the line of fire, Dante could step up to save him. It's easy to imagine Dante pulling off a dramatic rescue, perhaps with an assist from Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, since that would help heal their broken bond too. Chase will certainly want to do everything he can to save Brooklyn's son if things take a dangerous turn for Gio. That said, it makes sense for Dante to take the lead and maybe even get injured saving Gio from a grim fate. Dante may put his own life at stake for Gio and jumpstart some real bonding between them in the end. General Hospital spoilers say Gio may make some updates to his point of view when it comes to Dante in the coming weeks, so stay tuned. Port Charles is no stranger to danger, but even the most seasoned residents weren't prepared for the storm brewing at Sidwell Academy. What started as a routine check-in on a troubled student quickly spiraled into a life-threatening confrontation, and at the heart of it all were two men bound by blood, bravery, and the unshakable bond between father and son. Dante Falconeri has always been a protector. As a cop, a friend, and a father, he's made it his life's mission to shield others from harm. But when his son Gio found himself caught in a deadly situation at Sidwell, it wasn't just his badge that compelled him to act, it was his heart. The calm before the chaos. Gio, like many teens at Sidwell Academy, has struggled with finding his place. Torn between his Falconeri roots and the darker influences that haunt the school's elite social scene, Gio has danced on the edge of trouble more than once, but nothing could have prepared him, or Dante, for what was waiting behind those polished prep school doors. A new player had entered the scene, Caleb Rush, a charismatic yet dangerous trust fund rebel with a taste for control. His inner circle, known as the Sidwell Order, was rumored to be involved in everything from drug trafficking to blackmail, and Gio, hungry for acceptance and a sense of belonging, had unknowingly stumbled into their crosshairs. The setup. It started with a party, just another extravagant, unsupervised celebration thrown in the Sidwell woods. Gio went, invited by a classmate, unaware he was being baited. Caleb had plans to initiate Gio into the group with a twisted loyalty test, something far more sinister than a typical teen prank. Word began to spread, quietly but quickly, a distressed message from Gio to a friend, a hushed call from that friend to Rocco, who immediately informed Dante, and within minutes, Dante was racing through the Port Charles streets with only one thought in his mind: I have to get to my son before it's too late. The rescue mission. By the time Dante arrived at Sidwell's secluded North Woods, the situation had escalated. Gio was tied to a tree, the centerpiece of Caleb's grotesque rite of passage. The teens around him jeered and filmed, their faces masked in arrogance and cruelty, and Caleb stood with a switchblade in hand, about to etch his mark into Gio's skin. Dante didn't hesitate. He burst onto the scene with the force of a hurricane, gun drawn and voice thunderous. The teens scattered, screams echoing through the trees. Caleb tried to run, but was swiftly tackled. The switchblade clattered to the ground. In the chaos, Dante reached his son. Gio's eyes were wide with fear, but they locked onto his father's with something deeper than panic: relief, safety, love. Dante's hands were trembling as he untied the ropes, but his voice remained steady. "I got you, son. You're safe now. I promise." The aftermath. Back in Port Charles, the fallout began. Caleb was arrested, his wealthy family scrambling to contain the scandal. The Sidwell order was exposed, and several faculty members were placed under investigation for negligence, or worse, complicity. Gio was taken to General Hospital with minor injuries, but the emotional scars ran deeper. Dante stayed by his side every step of the way, refusing to leave the hospital room even when begged to rest. That night, under the soft glow of the hospital lamp, father and son shared a moment that neither would ever forget. "I was so stupid," Gio whispered, tears brimming. "I thought they liked me. I thought I had to do whatever it took to fit in." Dante placed a hand on his son's shoulder. "You don't have to change who you are for anyone, Gio. You come from a family of fighters. You have a good heart, and that's enough." Gio nodded, leaning into his father's embrace. It wasn't just comfort. It was a vow: to rebuild, to heal, to start again. Ripples across Port Charles. News of the rescue spread fast. At Kelly's, the whispers turned to cheers. At the PCPD, Dante was hailed a hero. But for Dante, this wasn't about recognition. It was about redemption, for the time he's missed with Gio, for the things unsaid between them, for the moments when fatherhood felt like a battlefield. Meanwhile, other characters took notice. Olivia rushed to her son's side, overcome with emotion and guilt for not seeing the signs. Sonny Corinthos, ever the protective grandfather, vowed to ensure Sidwell faced legal hellfire. And Sam, always supportive of Dante, stood quietly behind him, offering strength through silence. Anna Devane launched a formal investigation into Sidwell's secret society, working alongside Jordan Ashford to uncover how far the corruption ran. What began as a rescue had now sparked a wider crusade, a fight for justice that could take down one of the city's most elite institutions. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay inspired.